The Dearborn Independent, December 24th, 1927, Volume 28, Number 10. Mr. Ford's page, The Duty of Conscious Allegiance. We are on the very threshold of a new age. The dates are unimportant, for in the advance of the plan of the ages, it is not the sharp-cut dates, but periods of time that are important. Old things pass away in a fading-out process. New things gradually dawn. Only on looking backward do the people realize that a great thing took place back there. Surprisingly, few of the real turning points of the world come amid signs and wonders and people standing in awe of what passing. In the midst of moment, the war was the cataclysm because it was noisy. But something greater than the war, though much less glamorous, is in passage now. It is neither for man to help nor hinder, but to hold himself ready to do what is right, whether may be the circumstances. When the age begins to turn, we are too late to stop it, for the causes thereof were set in motion long ago and are now invincible. Nor can we help the new age be born, because we are but creatures of months, and the new age is generations and process of formations. We can but will the right, but for our particular race or religion or nationality, but the universal right which harms none and in which each finds its own fulfillment. One of the principal human duties that devolve during periods of change is the duty of conscious allegiance. What do you as personally and in your personality stand for? And are you standing for it by standing with others who are standing for it? These are questions which are pressing home from many directions today. The bugles of time are blowing assembly, and men are dividing themselves, each according to the moral note within. It is not a question of allegiance to opinions, nor programs or philosophies. It is a question of allegiance to moralities. A man may be hopelessly wrong in all his opinions, but if he is morally right, he is of the stuff of the continuing order of life. On the other hand, a man may be perfectly correct in his opinions and knowledge, and yet everything he does may collapse and die because of moral anemia. In this time of change, it is not a question of having the correct economic theory. It is a question of being loyal to the right. Immoral or unimmoral men never yet constructed an enduring social structure, nor enforced a single beneficial social change. This coming to conscious allegiance is not always a pleasant experience, especially in this day when everybody is obsessed more or less with the idea of wanting to be a good fellow, and when the flabby philosophy of boost was reduced as to spongy masses of saccharine sweetness. Men have been taught to put even their moral convictions in the background. Indeed, to possess no obstructive moral convictions in order that a false show of fellowship may be made. This fellowship has now fallen apart. It was based on nothing enduring. It had no meaning except a desire to escape the penalty for being different, which so many people fear. It is a time now when conscious allegiance costs something, for it will mean division, and the very first division must be between those who will be loyal to moral conviction and those who will not, and this quite apart from the consideration of person or majorities. The country has had considerable experience lately in the lining up of majorities on questions like temperance, and because the majority of people always believe, as a matter of principle, in temperance, it has been made to appear that moral allegiance is always just that easy. It is not. The lineup, impressive as it was not brought us temperance, and no such easy popular lineup ever will. The majority of the people are naturally straddlers. They are not in the world to pioneer, but to be as happy as possible. If pioneering in a cause brings discomfort, they would rather not be among the pioneers. If truth and error meet in combat before their gaze, they would rather wait and see which proves the stronger. They may have a lazy faith that truth at last will win, but it may not be the time as yet, and they do not wish to lend a premature support. And yet majorities are essential, not to the truth, but to the acknowledgement of the truth. And minorities are essential to the fructifying of majorities. The majority of the sodden dough, the minority the yeast. It is the yeast that changes the character of the dough to something better. Majorities are the position to be taken, as it were, and sometimes truth takes it, and sometimes error. There are some opposites in the world that shall never be reconciled. There are some programs that shall never be harmonized. And that is what frightens some people. They want to be happy. They want to live and let live. They do not want to be bothered. They want to live to enjoy the world as it is. And if there are those who would improve the world, let them do so, but not in the way that interferes with the present schedule. It is not hard or hardened men that the world needs, but men of moral hard lines who possess spiritual backbones. Men to whom the palliatory perhaps comes too easily, who are so impressed with the idea of relativity that they seek refuge in a near vacuum, a men who are lacking in moral gristle. An idea may be very valuable to them, but they are of no value to the idea. And the world advances only as ideas gather believing men about them.